Right. What you see on your screen here is the original copy of the letter that was sent to me by the Yaba College of Technology's Center for Entrepreneurship Development, specifically by the head of the department, of the center, the director, Dr. Mrs. Oyelola. Sorry. Now, I have mentioned this in the previous recording, so what I'm about to do here is to tell you the story. How did I get myself? I mean, I had no clue this organization and this entity existed. I mean, I knew Yaba Tech, but I didn't know there was anything like the CED, Center for Entrepreneurship Development. Neither did I know this woman, the PhD degree holder, lovely lady, who eventually hired me as a guest speaker. I was actually paid for this. So I want to share with you that story because it illustrates how sometimes, after you've done all your preparations, you want to get yourself as a professional invited to speak based on your area of expertise as an expert authority. And sometimes you do all your marketing and all that, but then you're waiting. Is there anything else you can do? Sometimes there are some people you don't even know exist, and then you discover that they do exist, and you realize that given the description of what they do or what they're about, what you know as an expert authority will be useful to them. So how do you present yourself to them? Do you have to look for somebody you know? So this story is about how you can actually, and I've done this countless times. I've told people about this. I've won so many jobs, so many clients without knowing anybody, no connections. I don't even look for connections. I just go out there and I do what I need to do, which is introduce myself and convince the people I'm talking to that I can help them. Once you present yourself as a problem solver, then the people who are sincerely looking for solutions to their problems will naturally embrace you. It's just common sense. So it's just for you to find the serious-minded people, not the ones who are playing games, right? And that takes some work, but once you master it, then nothing can stop you, literally. So the letter here, just if I take you through it, there's a link to it in the description. You'll be able to see a copy of the letter itself. But if you just take a look at it, I want you to just see some of the content. If you look here, excuse me, just a minute. All right. So there you have the letter head, phone number, blah blah blah, email address. So this was sent to me originally electronically. Then the day I arrived for the talk, I was given I think a day before I had to come in to check the venue, so I was given the printout. All right. So nomination as guest speaker, center for blah blah blah, is an academic unit, charge you anyway, all those details. Now they gave me the date, they gave me the venue, they gave me the time, they gave me the topic. It is my pleasure to inform you that the center has selected you as our guest speaker. What was the basis for the selection? That's what I'm about to share with you. Okay, and they said something here. The objective of the exercise is to enable the students change their present orientation of job seekers to that of potential entrepreneurs. As such, you are free to discuss other relevant points that could assist in achieving the objective. So you can see that they've already told me what they expect to hear from me with regard to what I'm going to be the message I'm going to be sharing with the kids, or with the young people. All right. So now what happened was I was driving past the Yaba Tech on that day. I can't remember where it was I went, but I was just driving past. I saw the building, I saw the signboard. Then I saw the signboard for the Center for Entrepreneurship Development, and I am a big fan of entrepreneurship. I've always, if you've been following my work, I've been preaching the need for schools to incorporate it. And I'm not talking of the textbook approach that's been taken, where lecturers that have no experience in entrepreneurship are the ones teaching entrepreneurship as an academic subject. No, we're talking of practical business, doing creating money-making opportunities using your talents, skills, and knowledge or expertise. So this was something that I'm very passionate about because of the experience I had as a person with all the qualifications that I had to struggle. What I do today for a living has nothing to do with what I studied in university, and so that made me put a question mark on the entire formal schooling I got. All right, so I'm a fan of entrepreneurship because you know that a lot of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world quite often are people that are dropouts at various levels in formal schooling. And I continue to make the point that the fact that they drop out is an indicator to us that there's something missing in our formal schooling system. But for some reason, those who run the formal schooling system, well, for obvious reasons, they're making money from the way it is. They don't want to change a winning formula. So it benefits them. They don't care if it benefits the learners. So it's left for the learners and their parents to guide them right, to acquire the right kind of education to succeed. So that was one of the things I was going to pass to these people, to these youths. Okay, but how did they decide to call me in to be the one to give this talk? Like I said, I was driving past, then I decided to just on impulse, I just said, why not? Let me talk to these people. I do a lot of cold calling all the time. So this was in 2013, 2012 really. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it was 2012. It wasn't 2013. Yeah, it was 2012. So I was just spontaneously, I just walked into the place. I parked my car outside and I walked in. I requested to speak with the director. I had no idea who she was, but I knew that a center like that would have a director. So I asked, and I was very bold. You've got to be very bold about doing these things. So when I spoke to the young lady who was in the kind of like a middle office, kind of like a reception, she went in and told the lady. The lady said I could come in and see her after some minutes. Long story short, she began the conversation. She told me what did I want, and I told her that I felt that I had the kind of skill set and knowledge and experience that could benefit people in the center like theirs. That I offered certain lectures that could be of use, because I'd been in 10 years in business then as an entrepreneur, and I'd gone through a lot of peaks and troughs. So I knew that the average person who was going to start out in entrepreneurship would benefit a lot by listening to me. I knew this from the fact that I had been invited to speak in other places and I had made a lot of impact, but there were smaller venues compared to this. So for me, I told her that I felt that if they invited me to speak to the people at the center, that there would be a lot of benefit to them. Now remember, at this point I did not know there was an annual lecture. I had no idea of anything of that sort. So then she told me that it was a funny coincidence. So this is how you're led spiritually. That I told people that there's spirituality in marketing, and the spirituality in marketing is what makes you take your steps. You arrange your steps in a way that takes you to a place where what you offer is being looked for, but they don't know that you exist yet. So if you listen to your instincts, those instincts are the spirits, the forces, the forces of nature, the universal forces that are actually telling you where to go. You sense it, you hear you feel the prompting. But some of us will resist it because of fear, so we don't respond. So we feel, oh no, how can I do that? And then we stop. But if you follow your instincts, your gut level instinct, and you go out there and you do exactly what your instincts are telling you, what your feelings are telling you to do, and you open your mouth and you talk to the people that they're telling you to talk to, you will find that quite often it will look like a coincidence, but it's not a coincidence. People will just find out that they've been looking for you and they'll be saying, wow, isn't it amazing that you came at this time? That's exactly what happened to me. So it wasn't the first time, like I said. So I just took it in my stride. I was used to it. As soon as she said that, I told myself, that's why I felt like coming in here. Now, from then on, she began the conversation, questions of, as you can imagine. She wanted to know what my background was, what I did for a living, blah blah blah. At some point, she asked me if I had a complimentary card. I told her I did not use cards anymore. That was one of the first things that stood out. The confidence with which I told her I did not use a complimentary card. I told her I did. I found out from trying it and using it for years that it was unneeded for me and my brand. And I found out that the web was a more effective medium to promote my brand and to communicate whatever I could do to people. She found that interesting. Then she asked me more questions, and at some point I touched on the fact that I was a sole agent for Bob Dubin, okay, the speaker of the mentor to international speakers based in the US. He's now 90, should be 98 or 97 now, right? He was still on my Facebook page a few days ago. So I told them that, look, I told her I'm also agent for Bob Dubin. At this time I was still marketing Bob Dubin, like I said. So she then told me, oh, who is Bob Dubin? And I explained to her who Bob Dubin was, how Bob Dubin discovered me online, how he reached out to me, told me he could mentor me, and from there I did the counter proposal to him, saying I didn't have money to pay for his fees. His fees are quite high, were quite high. He's retired now, and I told him, but I would love to make him a counter offer, and he asked me to send him whatever my counter offer was, and the counter offer I made was that he should let me be his sole agent across the African continent, marketing his products and services to people who would need it within that geographical area, and in exchange whatever earnings I made would be channeled towards paying for his mentoring, because I had known about him since the year 2000 and I had always dreamt of being mentored by him to be a professional speaker, but I did not have the resources at this time to pay. And that was how we began this relationship. So I think it was in 2008 that he reached out to me and we had that discussion, and he eventually put my name on his website and we began the relationship. So the lady looked at that as being evidence of the fact that I was truly practicing what I wanted to preach to her people. The fact that I could connect with an internationally recognized person of that stature, and I could build a concrete business relationship with the person, convince him enough to do business with me, even though we never met face to face. And I was actually getting paid in dollars. for doing it. It was something that I believe went a long way to convincing her that I was the right person, because she knew that it was kind of an uncommon thing I was doing. So we had this conversation. At the end of the day, she then told me, okay, I could send in details, links to my website and all of that to her. She gave me her email address. I did that, and then before I knew what was happening, I think about 2-3 weeks later, she sent me a message saying, okay, you've been nominated, we're going to send you a letter. Is that okay? Is this date okay? Blah blah blah. And when I told her it was okay, she then sent me the formal letter and wanted me to do a reply acknowledging that I would be able to take up the offer of the nomination. And I responded that I would, and then we discussed and agreed on when I would come in, to take a look at the venue and all that, whatever I would need, blah blah blah. And that was how, believe me, it was one visit. Believe me, the entire interaction we had in our office was less than 1 hour long. Believe me, I had to do nothing. I didn't print a single sheet of paper for this lady. She didn't request it, because when she asked me if I had a card, I said no. I said I don't do proposals either. So in other words, so somebody telling me to go and write a proposal about how well I can speak, I don't do it. It's not a matter of one being arrogant or bragging. It's simple. Everything I need to say to a prospective client is available on my web marketing system. It's simply for me to identify what it is you're interested in, and I will send them to you with links. If you refuse to do that with me and you insist that I have to do it, I will really have to be convinced that it's necessary. The person will really need to convince me that indeed what I have already available, or that I can put together electronically, is not going to be enough, and there's something that needs to come out that I need to go and sit down and put together again to do it. I mean, specifically with regard to what I offer as a solution, as a speaker, as an expert speaker. I'm not talking about everything under the sun. I'm talking specifically about this area of activity. You've got to be very careful. So it's not like I'm trying to extrapolate all of this to mean that in every area of life you don't need to write a proposal, or you can make a case to not writing a proposal. No, I'm speaking specifically about the offer of my speaking service to this kind of audience. I knew that everything I needed to show her was available on my website, and it's just a matter of her telling me what she wanted to know, and I will add those things. So long story short, that was how I got this. I won this paid speaking invitation, and I came to the venue. I'm going to quickly run you through. You've seen the letter, so this is the letter. All right, that was all I got. I mean, I picked it up when I went to the place. Okay, now let me just take you through. Let's see now. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This is when I eventually gave the talk. I'm not going to score there. I'm going to be a separate video in which I actually discuss what I said to the audience there. It was a packed hall, Grillo Hall. But this is the mind map I used for my speech. You will notice sdacademy.org and some other URLs there, excelheaven.biz, thefarmceo.net, butcherfarmprofits.biz. As an entrepreneur, you will do a lot of trial and error. You test a lot of things, marketing wise especially, repeatedly. And sometimes you find out you have to discard some things, and that's what I found out as an entrepreneur over the years. So you find out that many URLs I've used and dropped, but there are some that remain, especially the one that has my name in it. All right, and then of course tkshola.com as well. So that's what you have here. But the thing is, these are the various subtopics, subtitles in the presentation I did. All right, but I'm going to be doing a separate video to talk about that. I'm going to literally do that same presentation in a video of its own, so it's going to stand alone. So I just wanted you to see the mind map. Okay, and then this is a blog I did to offer people, because a lot of, even the rector of the Yaba Tech insisted that she wanted a copy, and she actually got the director to reach out to me several times before I was able to email it to her, the PowerPoint slideshow. And because many of the attendees also wanted a copy, so what I did was to offer them the opportunity to get it from my website. So this is a blog on which is on my website, and you actually see there's a link that's provided, all right, for people to just come there and fill a form to request access to the PowerPoint mind map that I use in the presentation. All right, so that's it there on your screen. Then what else did I want to show you? Okay, so that was it. Okay, now if you look at, oh yeah, and the one final thing, there is this video. This is the video of my, that shows when I was being introduced. I was being called up to come and speak by the announcer. Okay, so this video, it was just recorded. I got a young man to record it. I didn't have much space on my phone, so you see the video there. So it introduces me, and I actually come out. Just skip it. I'm going to insert it at the end of this clip so you can just see it. I think I have it as a separate video on my YouTube channel. All right. So, but that's just what it was all about. You see there that I was actually at the event. It was a very interesting day, and I had quite a good engagement with the audience. Now, the thing to give to you as a takeaway is this: no matter where it is you find yourself, if you really are competent at what you say you do, then there is no reason, absolutely no reason for you to accept anybody's suggestion that you should go and look for some connection or some big person or some big name person to give you a letter to get to you through doors and doors and doors of decision makers to arrive at the place you want to go as a public speaker. You must get yourself to the point where you believe enough in yourself to walk up to anybody and tell them what you can do for them to help them. Basically, what you have to do is this: communicate the actual benefit you can deliver to them. What will you help them do? What will you help them avoid doing? So what is the good thing you help them get? What's the bad thing you help them avoid? If you can show them that in concrete terms, measurable terms, describe it. Maybe it's going to be saving in time, saving in effort, saving in money, maybe increasing amount of product, maybe increasing output, increasing number of satisfied customers. Whatever positive experience you're going to be able to help them achieve, describe it to them. Find a way to tell it in form of a story, how you help somebody do it with your skills, with your expertise. Once you can talk to people like that in layman's terms, don't use too much big English. Try to communicate in a manner that the average person can relate to, because you do not know the background of the decision maker you are dealing with. We have had people that had the background in engineering, running entities that had nothing to do with engineering. So you've got to be able to communicate in a manner that enables anybody to understand you, and then you communicate using benefits, concrete, relatable benefits. Once you tell people things that they can relate to, that this is going to be useful for me, it's going to save me time, this is going to save me effort, this is going to save me pain, they will listen to you. Especially when you have, like I said, true stories that demonstrate proof that you can do it. And that was what I combined. It was a combination of all of that in my message, in the way I spoke. Alright, the way I expressed myself was also important. Your command of the language you are using, whether it's Yoruba, Chinese, English, whatever language you are using, your command of the language will also help your delivery. Because if you don't know how to express yourself in an articulate manner, you will struggle. And when you struggle, you lose that person. Their train of thought will kind of drift. And the minute they begin to drift, you are losing them. And when you lose them, then you have very little chance of winning them as paid clients. And that's basically what I did. I combined all of that. I was able to deliver within a matter of 10 to 20 seconds the initial statement that enabled the person that I was speaking with say, wow, okay, can you tell me more? That was basically when I knew I was in business. I was going to be able to, I was going to have a fighting chance of convincing her to hire me. I had no clue at that time, like I said, that they even had an event that was coming up. So remember what I said, I worked on impulse. I listened to my gut level instincts. Be spontaneous. Sometimes your mind is telling you to do something. Don't think it's just your mind. Sometimes it's the creator that's talking to you. Listen to that voice. Take action. If you've worked hard on yourself and you're competent at what you do, that means it's very likely that you're already ready to have that conversation with that person. Don't let fear stop you. Get up, get out there, and go and knock on that door. Go and say hello to that person and make your elevator speech. Once you do that, whatever response comes from the person, take it in your stride. Even if it's hostile, take it in your style, smile and say more to show benefit. Sometimes you have to retrace your steps. Sometimes you may say, can I come back at another time? This doesn't look like a good time. That's another thing you can say. But the point is, do not give in readily. Do not give up readily. Always smile, always sound confident, always look confident, and always dress presentably. Alright, I hope this has been useful. If you have questions, reach out to me. Cheers.